are you? Welcome to my channel. My name is Arit. As always, don't forget to like, comment and share this video. So the topic we're going to be looking at today is all about making the move from employment into entrepreneurship. And I'm going to share some tips that worked for me 13 years ago when I stepped out of the comfort of employment and moved into the uncharted waters of entrepreneurship. And I hope these tips will be of benefit to you too. So the first thing you want to do is ask yourself the question, do I want to be an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur? Two similar but different things. Entrepreneurs, as we know, spotted a gap in the market, developed a product or service to address that gap, launch it, experience some highs, but also stand to lose the lot during some lows. It is a lonely, it is a frustrating, but it is a hugely rewarding journey. An intrapreneur, on the other hand, is an employee who uses their entrepreneurial skills within an existing business but has none of the risks or responsibilities associated with owning that business. Now, if the latter appeals to you more than the former, your energies may be better served looking for a job or a role within a company that allows you to play to your strengths and develop your talents, because you want to set yourself up to become a key person of influence and get to the point where you are headhunted and able to command your own salary, because ultimately the biggest commodity in any business is its talent. And as an intrapreneur, you want to work your talent to the point at which you're sought after. Now, once you've decided which camp you're in, you want to ask yourself, what kind of business do I want to have? Now, by that I mean, do you want to have a lifestyle business or a growth business, sometimes called a scalable business? Now, entrepreneurs behind lifestyle businesses are often driven by the desire to create a certain level of wealth that allows them to live a particular lifestyle. And that could just be having a flexible working life that allows them to take holidays when they want, work around their family or care and responsibilities, whatever is important to them. Now, lifestyle businesses are often owner managed and their growth is capped because they rely on the talents, the skills, the experiences of their owners. Now, scalable or growth businesses, entrepreneurs behind those are often driven by a desire to grow very quick, often with venture capital or angel investment, and they want to get that business to a certain level so they can sell it within 5 to 7 years and make a substantial profit. Now, it's super important you decide which camp you're in, because when it comes to your planning stages, you want to make sure you've got the right structure in place in order to build the kind of business that you want. So the third thing you've got to look at is a business plan and setting that up, because as the old adage goes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Now, I'm not a big fan of getting other people to write a business plan. I think it's super important that you, as a budding entrepreneur, you write it yourself, because it's your idea, your vision. You need to know it inside and out, because you're going to be talking about it a lot. So, and also I think I found really helpful when I wrote my first business plan is that it teaches you about the core principles of starting and running a business. So it teaches you to define your audience, because when writing a plan, you're going to have to define your audience. It teaches you about your product, to really know your product or your service inside and out. It teaches you about marketing, what your marketing strategy is going to be. It forces you to do your maths, your sums, work out your cost of production, your profit margin, and what your future projections are going to be. It teaches you to look at your competitors so that you can determine what your USP, your unique selling point is. Why should we buy your product or service? And it also teaches you about doing a SWOT analysis, knowing what your strengths are, your weaknesses are, opportunities and threats, and starting to have plans and process to mitigate and support your business through those times. So write it. Now, there's so many resources out there. Find a template that works for you, but don't get too caught up in your writing style or trying to mimic how somebody else has written their business plan. It's literally just write it as it flows in your unique style, because once you've got your first draft down, you can then take it to an expert who can help you trim it down and draw out on key points. But ultimately at that point, you will know your business and your idea inside and out. The next thing you want to do is road test your idea. You wouldn't buy a car without taking it for a test drive, so don't say bye-bye to a regular salary without testing your idea. And I mean testing it outside your friends and family who will tell you that everything is great. Go for it. And you can do that, and you might want to have focus groups. You might want to create samples if your business idea requires that rather. You might engage in networking. You know, ultimately you want to put your idea out there so that you can then begin to know whether your price is too high or too low, whether your service needs refining and where it needs refining. It'll also teach you a lot more about your audience, exactly who they are and what channels you need to be on and feature so that they can hear and consume your product. So it's super important that you do that road testing first phase as well. The next thing you want to do is to make sure you've got contracts in place. Now you might, and this is particularly important for those of you who are going into business for somebody else. Now you might be buddies right now, and that's great, which is why it's super important that you get the contract in place when you are buddies, because it is the framework that you are both held accountable to should your relationship start to fall apart. And business puts a huge strain on some of the strongest relationships. So if you've got this framework, you're set up. So make sure you've got a contract in place. And finally is you've got to fuel your mind. I'll use a car analogy again. You wouldn't go on a road trip without checking your fuel gauge first. Same thing. Don't launch into business without reading about the experiences of other entrepreneurs. As the saying goes, leaders are readers. You want to fill your mind with experiences of those who tread the path that you're about to walk on. You will learn from their experiences, and it also strengthens your mind so that when you get knocked down, you've got the bounce back to get back up again. And it also lets you know that you're not on your own, rather, that actually lots of entrepreneurs have gone through exactly the same phase that you are doing. So leaders are readers. Make sure you're reading. I'll put in the description box some of the books that have really inspired me, like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Good book. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Oh, The 50th Law by Robert Greene and 50 Cents. And I'm a Christian, so I love reading the Bible too. So Timothy teaches a ton about leadership, as does following the ministry of Moses and the 4 Gospels. There's so much in there that can really help you build, hone your vision, and develop your team and your leadership capabilities. So from the top, are you an entrepreneur or intrapreneur? There's no shame in either. Second, what kind of business do you want to have? Lifestyle or scalable? 3, have a plan. 4, road test your ideas. 5, even, can I count? 5, have contracts in place. And 6, leaders like you are readers. I hope you found that useful. Feel free to share the video and connect with me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. Send me your ideas or your questions that you want me to address in one of my videos. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.